Okay, so the gold standard. The gold standard. What this means is it's the standard by which other things are measured. That it's got a long history of quality, uh, and it's considered, to be a standard. So gold uh, has a long, long, long history of being something that is valued. So the U.S. dollar is measured against gold. The Japanese yen is measured against gold. The German, or the euro is measured against gold. I almost said the German mark. All right, but so we have this expression, the gold standard, and it used to be in the U.S. everything was on a gold standard, which means that all of the money had to be sitting in some vault somewhere in the same amount in gold. But they got off of that, which is kind of dangerous, I think. But anyway, the gold standard. So there's a certification in my industry, and let me show you. It's called the RSA CELTA. So I remember when I first heard the expression gold standard. This is the very first example somebody gave me. And so the RSA CELTA is, it's originally, I guess, made by Cambridge University, and they have very strict standards, and nobody can use this name unless they follow these strict standards created by RSA Cambridge, and it is considered the gold standard in my industry as far as certifications that are accepted. I don't actually have one of these. I have a master's degree, which would be considered actually higher, but as far as these kind of short-term certifications, no one will ever doubt someone if they have this certification, right? So you see a lot of people on Facebook and in my industry wanting to get into teaching English, and they say, which certification is good? And a lot of people will say, oh, well, of course the CELTA is the gold standard. It might even say here, um, no, this is just some kind of thing, but it's the most widely recognized English teaching qualification. There's another big one called the Trinity. I think it's Trinity, but versus Trinity. But this is like the original one, okay? And it's the measuring stick by which all other certifications are measured. But if you have this, no one will ever doubt you about whether you know what you're doing. Okay? And so it is the gold standard. And that guy, I said, well, what certification should I take? And he said, well, of course, the CELTA is the gold standard. And that is the very first time I ever heard that. Okay. So, so let's talk about other gold standards. If you want to talk about doner kebabs, you're going to have to, probably everything's going to be compared to the Turkish doner kebab, right? They're good. Everybody knows they're good, right? Okay, what are you going to do like if you want to decide if your sushi is good? Okay, well, the gold standard is going to be something Japanese, right? Basketball. The United States is the gold standard. It's got the biggest league, it's got the longest tradition, and if you make it to the NBA, nobody will ever doubt that you're good, right? So the gold standard just means the measuring stick. that people compare themselves to. Okay, so could be for a lot of things. Okay, the gold standard. Okay, I will talk to you on the next idiom.